Before anything you've ever heard, before even all the languages you know, there was a language that carried the wisdom of all creation, a language so ancient that we can barely comprehend it. Its name? Vatan. Vatan, the language that precedes Sanskrit, Senzar, and even the very idea we have of language. That's right, you heard it correctly. When we think of the origin of languages, we usually think of Sanskrit, right? The sacred language of ancient scriptures, the mother tongue of India's spiritual traditions. But what few people know is that before Sanskrit, there was Senzar. And before Senzar, there was something even older, even more powerful. Vatan. Vatan, a divine language, not only spoken, but felt. A language of creation, the true voice of the gods, spoken in places like Agartha, Shambhala, and in hidden regions of Duat. The very sound of Vatan carries within it the ancient wisdom that underpins all human knowledge. Imagine the weight of that. But let's take it step by step. Maybe you're wondering, what do you mean, Vatan? Let's understand it better. Vatan is not just a language like the ones we know. It's not just about sounds and letters. Vatan is composed of 7 symbols, 7 letters, and each of these symbols not only represents a sound, but a concept, an idea, an energy that transcends words. These symbols are not static, they move. They take forms in 4 different positions, creating 28 distinct shapes. And the most impressive part, each symbol and each sound has the power to transform the reality around it. This knowledge of Vatan dates back to the speaking stone. Have you heard of it? That stone that, according to some traditions, speaks to those who can interpret its inscription. And guess what? The inscription on it is written in Vatan. And it's not just that. The philosopher's stone, one of the greatest mysteries of alchemy, also holds a deep connection to Vatan. It, just like Vatan, is seen as a receptacle of secret wisdom, where primordial knowledge is revealed. The philosopher's stone has the power to transform, just like Vatan has the ability to transform the human being at the deepest level. As Helena Blavatsky, one of the great masters of theosophy, said, primitive wisdom was revealed to humanity through symbols and mysteries. Vatan is that primordial mystery, the original code of creation, encoded in stones that, when touched by the right understanding, reveal ancestral secrets. This understanding was also addressed by ancient philosophers such as Plato, who spoke about the language of souls, referring to a spiritual communication that transcends human words. For Plato, true language was not limited to sounds, but to a universal vibration that connects all of creation. He believed that true language could not be described, but only experienced. Vatan, with its energetic essence, aligns with this Platonic view, being the primordial language that connects the human soul to the cosmos. But this connection with the symbolism of stones doesn't stop there. Freemasonry, with all its symbolic depth, presents the image of the cubic stone, upon which the great architect of the universe, a representative entity of universal wisdom, sits. The cubic stone is the foundation of the spiritual temple of the being, and it is upon it that the construction of truth, wisdom, and transformation occurs. Just like Vatan, the cubic stone is the base that supports eternal knowledge, and it is through this primordial vibration that we connect to the great architect of the universe, the source of all creation. The mystic philosopher Rudolf Steiner, who was one of the leading thinkers linked to eubiosis, also touched on this point, describing in his works the connection between divine language and deep human understanding. According to Steiner, the ancient sacred languages, like Vatan, carried cosmic energies that went beyond verbal communication and touched the essence of existence. He describes that, in ancient times, civilizations were able to communicate with the spiritual forces of nature through these primordial languages. Like Blavatsky and Steiner, the esoteric philosopher Jean Delumeau, in his book The Wisdom of Silence, speaks about the ancient words of divine knowledge, suggesting that these sacred languages, like Vatan, have the power to reveal truths that are beyond immediate human comprehension, but essential for spiritual ascent and for the deep understanding of the nature of being. And then we arrive at a crucial point in our journey, leading us to a great revelation, a mystery yet to be unraveled. Perhaps you've already heard of Aum, or Om, the sacred sound, the primordial sound of creation. Aum is the sound of the universe, the vibration that gave birth to everything. In many spiritual traditions, especially in Hinduism and Buddhism, Aum is considered the original mantra, the essence of God itself, the sound that resonated in the creation of the cosmos. It is the key to unlocking universal wisdom, and it is said that by chanting it, the practitioner not only connects with the divine, but with the very vibrational structure of the universe. And look how fascinating it is. In the Gospel of John, we find a passage that says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." This idea of the Word in creation is surprisingly similar to the idea of Aum. The Word, the primordial sound, the Word that manifests in the creation of everything that exists. This word in the Bible can be understood, in an esoteric sense, as the same primordial vibration we see in Aum, the sound that contains the essence of God, that creates and sustains the universe. Now, what if I told you that, on some deep level, Aum is an expression of the primitive language Vatan? Both vibrations, Aum and Vatan, can be understood as representations of the same primordial cosmic energy, the sound of creation. Aum, with its simplicity and power, might be the condensed version of what Vatan was, a language of complex symbols, but whose essence remains the same, the frequency of all creation. And here's the mystery. Just as Aum resonates through generations, carrying the secret of all existence, Vatan also has its own way of revealing itself. The ancient, mystical, and initiatic traditions that guard archaic wisdom say that there will come a day when we will have access to Vatan, and this contact will not just be an intellectual experience. It will be a profound revelation, which will not only communicate us with the mysteries of the cosmos, but also open our perceptions to spiritual dimensions that we can barely comprehend today. This day will come because true wisdom is not given, it is awakened. Vatan Aum, the frequencies of creation, are within us, waiting to be activated. It doesn't matter how long it takes, for the vibrations of the universe never disappear. They are always present, always waiting to connect us to the whole. So, while we wait for the right moment for this revelation, what can we do? The advice I leave you is, seek silence. Not just the silence of the world, but the inner silence. In silence, the sound of Aum can be heard. In silence, the vibration of Vatan can be felt. Knowledge is inside of you. The key is in the sound, in the vibration, in the energy of the cosmos. And who knows, maybe by chanting Aum, you might already be starting to connect with the ancient language of the universe, Vatan, and unlocking the mysteries of being. If you feel something greater calling you, if Vatan, Shambhala, or Agartha resonate with your soul, subscribe here to the channel. Let's explore more of these ancient mysteries and bring forth the wisdom that transcends time. Until the next video, and remember, knowledge is within you. Just listen to the vibration.